This idea about a fine line between spanking and abuse is very interesting because in the black community they say it's very different. There's no comparison between spanking and abuse. This just don't even put them in the same sentence. But my viewpoint is more so, no, yeah, there's a very fine line between spanking and abuse. They're actually the same thing. I tell them they're just different gradients of pain. It comes from frustration of the adult. It comes from a lack of skill of the adult. And so whether they spank or do abuse, it still comes from the confusion of the adult and the ineptness of the adult to actually do something that's going to be effective.
I think if parents have the urge to spank and do spank the child, often they have been spanked in their own upbringing and become to believe that spanking is a quick, effective way of raising children because it didn't hurt them and they're pretty healthy and normal, therefore it's okay to spank the child.
Most of you, I would imagine, have actually been punished yourself, and it didn't do you any harm, you think.
They were raised that way, and they think they turned out okay. And so they don't want to be told that their parents did the wrong thing with them, or that they've done the wrong thing with their own children. And so they don't want to hear that message because they want to believe that their parents loved them and did right by them and that they love their own children. And so being told that they did the wrong thing that's not consistent with what they believe about themselves or their parents.
When someone says, I was spanked and I'm okay, that's true, but the implication intended that spanking is okay is false. It's just they're part of the lucky ones.
I think there's a lot of blockage, like mothers might block out what they're doing, but when they do step outside and look at how the child is wincing when they approach them, or the child looks at them or can't look at them, when a mother makes that turn, they feel extreme sorrow. I've heard mothers talk about the sorrow that they feel because of what they've done to their children. And so you have that, but if the mother doesn't get to that point where she can assess her own behavior, then it's just a vicious cycle of, well, it was done to me, so I'm gonna do it to you.
You are hitting a child. To me, that is a violent act. The child's bodily response to being hit is one of pain, one of fear, and the physicality of it goes into many nerve endings from the feet to the arms to the bum to the face. It has a physiological, neurological, traumatic consequence.
Well, I got hit when I was a kid and I turned out okay. And sometimes I wonder if those people have really examined their feelings. Because when there is a feeling that we have that's hurtful and we bury it because we can't deal with it, the powers are too strong around us, we put it away somewhere. And so when someone asks us about spanking, we're likely to have kind of a knee-jerk response, which is, I got hurt when I was a kid. I got spanked and I turned out okay. And I sometimes want to say, we don't know how he would have turned out. We don't know.